So we're live now, right?
Just about.
Oh, okay. I'll wait until you tell me.
All right, you are live.
Okay, being 6:30, we'll call the facilities meeting to order. Let the record show that all members are present. Also, Scott and John are here. I don't see anybody else. Deb's here, yep. Okay. So you all were sent out the minutes from the March 24th and the March 31st meetings. Are there any additions or corrections or discussions on those minutes? Does anybody want to make a motion to accept them?
Oh, I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
A motion has been made to approve the minutes. Tim, you second it?
Correct.
Okay. Any discussion on the minutes at all? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay, motion's carried. Public comment. Was there any public comment? John or Randy, did you have any public comment? You're muted, John. No.
How about now?
Yeah. Not now.
He did not.
Okay, you break. I think I heard you say you had no public comment, but you're in and you're out. You can't hear.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. No public comment.
Okay, no public comment at this time. Okay. Items placed at the request of the chair. This is the resolution to establish 100% renewable energy. We'll do that down on number H where we have the consideration, as long as we do have it actually in a nice form that Nick sent out. So we'll skip over that one for now. And we'll go right into staff and recreation reports, fair and fair board. Deb?
Evening, everybody. You received my written report, so I'm not going to take the time to read all of that information, but I did want to share some news with you. We've been watching the fairs that have from the South, especially Florida, that have had their fairs this year, and I thought it was pretty interesting that on April 1st, the Clay County Fair in Florida kicked off. They had a record attendance this year of 148,000 people over the 11 days. Their biggest grandstand crowd was 15,269 people. And they had records in every place. I'm just kind of skimming through here to give you some information about it. But since then, the health director from the Clay County Health Department did say that they traced back 30 possible cases reported that were linked to the fair. So they did have a few, but that's a pretty low percentage when you think there was 148,000 people there. They also are at a 6.1% rate as far as positive tests in Florida during that time. So I just thought I'd give you that information. I thought that was pretty interesting information. We're still planning on moving ahead. We're still gathering information from our vendors, talking to them to make sure that they have everything ready to go and that they plan to work with us and make sure they keep everybody safe. And I guess we'll see how the numbers keep going in Dunn County. Anybody have any questions?
here 2 months ago, you were going to move a name forward for on the fair, and then you withdrew that, saying you was going to hold off. Are you still looking for people to work or to be on the fair board?
Yes, we still need a person, but I didn't, to be honest, I didn't look at the agenda till last night. And I knew about the 24-hour thing and it didn't get on the agenda for tonight. He got his approval to move his name forward, so I guess we'll have to hold off for another month. So,
So we'll have it on next month's agenda. then.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
He's still helping us and working with us and plans on, serving on it. He just won't be official.
sure.
So,
Okay.
but we are still looking for another person, at least one more person to help us. So
Okay.
I think Mike had a question for me or a comment.
Yes. So the fairs in Florida, how were they run? Were they people with masks or no masks for outside? And how did that play out?
It
Florida
was a
don't have
mixture.
masks, right?
It was a mixture. If you look at any photos, and you guys can Google Clay County Fair in Florida too, and you'll see photos out there. It was a mixture. The masks were recommended in most cases. They weren't required. As you know, fairs, a lot of the activities are outside. So in the buildings, it was encouraged that they have masks, and they had protocols in place, but they did not require them to be worn all the time. There wasn't a mask mandate at the time, or they didn't have one for their county. I can find out more information if you want me to about their stuff. They've shared that on the IAFA website, their protocol and their plans, and I've read through that, but we're kind of looking at all of those southern fairs to see what we can pull from those to put with our plan.
I just thought it was interesting with lower restrictions, the rate of infection was still so extremely low. I just thought that was interesting and kind of bodes well for us moving forward.
Yes, I agree. That's kind of why I shared that information, because it was actually surprising to me when they were going full bore ahead with, large shows and so forth.
And that was Clay County, CLAY
Yes,
County.
Clay
in
County.
Florida.
Yep. Clay County for Florida.
Okay.
So
Okay, does anybody else have any other questions for Deb? Okay, seeing none, we'll move to Facilities and Parks Division. Thanks, Deb. Okay, operations.
Good evening,
Scott?
everyone.
Yep.
You guys got my written report, so if you have any questions on that, the only thing I'm going to bring up on that is that we had the annual jail inspection. I put in my report that staff were getting ready for it. The jail inspection went very well, went really good. Brenda in the jail was very happy with the work the facilities guys helped her out with and how the jail inspection went. That is all good. The other thing that I wanted to bring up was that I did auction off the free stage materials that we had sitting. Put them on Wisconsin surplus auction again. If you remember, I mentioned that I had put them on Wisconsin surplus back in December and didn't bring what we wanted. This time we got up to $12,750 and sold them for $12,750. They left us last Thursday night, so that deal is all done. We did better than what we would have done if at the time we had the materials, if we would have had to pay a restocking fee for returning to Menards. They would have charged 25% restocking fee, so we would have lost money there. So we did pretty good. I thought got them gone, got some money back. Other than that, everything's been going pretty smooth with getting ready to move our record storage facility into the main building and our shop area out. That's all being worked on, and Patty Isaacson is working with departments to find out who needs what records footwear if they need their own space to be locked up, or if they need, they can be in with the general records in record storage. So once we know that, we'll move forward more with that move. That's pretty much what our projects have been going on, is working on that and a few other little things here and there, but everything's been going smooth. Does anybody have any questions?
I guess I have one question
Sure.
on the judicial roof replacement bids here. Evidently, five of the contractors must have missed something, or else the other guy was really sky high when you look at the bids.
Yeah, the one guy was one place was way out of line. The others were very close.
Yeah, I mean, so it just really, yeah, I mean, the fact that those other five were so, I mean, yeah, that's really close, I thought. Yeah, but, okay, sounds good. Does anybody else have any questions for Scott?
Hey, Scott, I do have a question because I
Yeah,
believe
Tim.
in last month's meeting, you had mentioned that we were waiting for warmer weather to have Excel run utilities to the building out there. Has
Yes.
that been completed?
That has not been completed. It is scheduled.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're getting closer for that.
I have a question too. Scott, on those roof quotes, are any of those for a white roof?
They are not. I had all of these guys on the Judicial Center roof, and I asked them at that time if it would be beneficial to do a white roof, and they all shook their head and said no, that in this climate, that it's not beneficial to do a white roof. That it's more, it's more cost, and we don't have as many cooling days. We have more heating days. The other thing with the Judicial Center, I know you had mentioned about a white roof with rooftop air conditioning units. We have a chiller at the Judicial Center that has a cooling tower on the ground, so that won't affect the efficiency of that chiller. We do have a couple of air conditioning units on the roof at the Judicial Center that are residential size. They're small. They cool 1 or 2 rooms. So all the roofing guys felt that the white roof was not worth going for.
Yeah, well, I guess I found when we were putting roofs on our church, most of the people who don't generally aren't familiar with white roofs, they do knock them down. And the people who put on white roofs, they emphasize them. So it'd be kind of interesting to see what Fisher out of Ellsworth would tell you. They're a white roof, flat roof, flat roof company. If you'd want to give them a call, it might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I followed up on the references for Northwest Roofing, the Taransky and Sons, that is the lowest bid. I followed up on them, and some of the ones that they have done were white roofs, but the guys all said that no, it wasn't. In this climate, it's not worth doing the white roof.
Because Northwest is out of Chautauqua, right?
Yep, they're the ones that originally installed the Judicial Center roof when it was built.
Yeah, I remember we got a quote from them too when we did our church roofs, and they didn't want to put a white roof on either at that time.
Oh,
So
okay.
I think a lot of them are, they got those built-in prejudices too. So anyway, just
Okay, any other questions for Scott? If not, we'll move on to the facilities fleet. John, have you got that one?
Yep.
covered?
Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay, we did get the replacement truck switched out here about a week and a half ago. They took back the old Ram that Scott had, and the new F-150 has been dropped off. I haven't heard the word on the Malibu status. I know they're still in queue to be built, And I know GM, Ford, and a couple other suppliers are having some computer acquirement issues. So I'm hoping we see those now in May, kind of like promised, or hopefully early June. So we're still waiting on the Malibus. Otherwise, everything else seems to be going good. We haven't had any major issues with the current fleet. There has been some recalls, some warranty stuff that we've been cycling through the dealerships, the respective dealers, as they come in. But otherwise, everything as far as the facilities fleet is going off without a hitch.
Okay, any questions for John on the as far as the fleet from anybody? Okay, we'll move on to the monthly financial reports then.
John McLaughlin printed off the facilities, the operations budget and the parks operation budget according to our consumable budget and our actuals. We're looks like we're doing good for this part of the year. Is that me giving feedback? So same thing with the parks. I know that the consumable park budget will start going up here now in the next couple of weeks because we will start our mowing operations. And I believe Scott can attest to this, that they have started to get the restrooms and the picnic tables and the docks and everything in. So we're gearing up here to just start our normal summer season for all the parks. So that consumable budget will probably go up here for the next 4 to 6 months. Any questions on the financial reports?
Any questions? I guess I do have one question as far as for the mowing. Are we going out for bids, or are we doing that in-house ourselves? The mowing of the parks.
We are doing 2 seasonal guys. I just
Okay.
got requisition through HR to go ahead and recruit for 2 seasonal people for mowing the parks.
Okay, good. I didn't know where that was all at.
Yep.
So good. We'll do it in-house then. Okay.
Yep. The last 2 years have worked quite well.
Yeah.
The last 2 years we did acquire 2 zero-turn mowers. This year, for what it was costing to acquire the 1 mower and 2 seasonals was a little bit less than what we had been paying in lawn care. So we did that back to back. Now this year we're going to save that mower cost, and now we're probably at a third, between a half and a third of probably what it would cost to hire a lawn service. And then on the rain days, Scott can put them to use somewhere else, painting benches, painting doorways, cleaning up trash, more than just what the lawn care service was doing for
Right.
us. So it's been working quite well.
Good. So, okay, next thing, energy.
Energy, I met with Dave Plume via a Zoom meeting on the 14th of April. He had a preliminary layout that he's been putting together of how big of solar array we would need and possible locations. Originally, he had it in the utility easement to the south towards 1229. And I said, I don't think we should put anything in that easement area, because with the sewer and water mains through there, if we'd ever have to go dig, or the city ends up switching some stuff around. So he's going to flip flop the proposed solar arrays to the back side of the lot, basically shift them to the north. And he said that would work quite well too. And then we're right in our meter locations where we need to be too. And I don't think that's going to disturb our view between the front of the building and 1229, et cetera. They'll kind of be in the back of the property, out of sight, out of mind. So we should be out of the flight path for the airport. So he was sizing them accordingly. That our central building does take quite a bit more energy than the other two. I got him some interval data from Excel Energy. So he's going to put together the final sizing of each array, put them on a location on a map, and then it sounds like in May he would be either here in person, depending on what type of meeting we have, or he'd be available by Zoom to kind of go through his report. And he did have some numbers, preliminary numbers on what it would cost. So he'll be able to present all of that. So I think we're in the final stages of feasibility to see if we would want to pursue this.
Okay, great. Anybody have any questions as far as energy for John?
I have a question for him, Chuck,
Okay,
Chairman. John, have we explored getting bids from any, this is the guy that's gonna sell us, put the unit in and then charge us for electricity, correct?
That would be one option, yes. Right now, oh, go ahead, Mike.
Are we not gonna get any bids from anybody other than this one guy to put in to evaluate solar panels?
If we would pursue it, then I think we would take it out for bid. Right now, we're just kind of doing a feasibility study. And if we would pursue this and move forward with it, then we know what size of system we need. And he analyzes our peak loads and with the load interval from the meters. Basically, what he's doing is the preliminary sizing of the system. And then if we would pursue that, we could either go through him or we would take it out to bid just to basically keep them honest. So yeah, right now we're just in the feasibility stage. Get a sizing and then basically preliminary numbers on a general estimate on what it would take to put a system in. Tim?
I do have a question, because you had talked about moving that solar array to the north side over there. If we would pursue that, would there be, and I'm kind of thinking down the line now, would there be room to add to that solar garden so that we could potentially take power over to the Dunn County building too?
Yes. And actually we could go a couple different ways. When him and I were looking at the mapping, since we have all that farm field that we lease to CVTC right now, we have the option, we could keep projecting to the north and that was Dave's comment too. He said, if you ever decide to expand or basically bring the new government center online, we could expand to the east also. So that, we definitely have area for expansion down the road.
Great, thank you.
Mike?
Chuck,
yeah,
that property isn't of much value for anything else because nothing can be built there, correct?
Yes.
yeah, it's because of the airport, yeah.
So that would be a good use of that property.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Dave, do you have a question?
Is there any cost to this study that he's doing?
No. Nope. Don reached out to him and it's basically, he's in a sales position. He's just trying to give us as much information as we can to educate us. And if he makes a sale, you do some legwork, but it's no different than a contractor putting in a bid or putting a proposal together like we do for like the bridge and road engineering. You put a proposal together, one of them gets it, 9 other ones walk away empty-handed. So there is no cost to us.
Okay, any other questions? If not, anything under miscellaneous?
I did not have anything under miscellaneous.
Okay,
I've got a couple things under miscellaneous, Chuck.
oh, okay, go ahead.
Just to follow up on one of the things I was made aware of that XL Energy got the okay to recoup costs for the storm that was back in February with the cold temperatures where Texas got hit so bad. And so what XL has been okay to do is charge an extra 50 cents per therm for gas delivery charge or gas supply charge. So we're looking at additional costs on our XL energy bill for our gas from April until December of this year. So Paul contacted me about that, and I looked into how facilities budget could absorb this. So we're looking at some of the preventive maintenance stuff that we normally would do throughout the year. We're going to shove back to 2022. Some of the little projects we're going to shove back so that we can recoup some money, keep it in there to absorb the extra costs from Excel. I'm going to monitor this monthly to make sure that we stay on track and so that the budget doesn't end up being short at the end of this year. Just to make sure we're at a good spot for covering those extra costs.
So Excel got the okay from the PSC board to charge more because of that
Yep.
storm? I mean, I'm not following why.
Let me see.
When the market prices spiked due to that ice storm down south.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's sure.
Yeah,
sure,
when-
just
when-
ripple effect
Yeah,
from that.
basically when the market spiked, they're basically allowing them to recoup some of their loss.
Ah, okay. I got it now. I was
Yeah.
trying to, okay, slow on the
I
draw.
probably didn't explain that good enough.
Well,
that's-
no, that's fine. I just, yeah. Okay, okay. And then you had something else
I have
too?
a
Or-
question. I have a question. Is that a pretty big number, or do you have any idea what it might be?
Between mainly the judicial center is our big one because that's the most consumption of gas. Judicial center and the government center is going to be about $23,000. So it's a substantial number. So like I said, we'll cut back on some things this year and push them into 2022 just to make sure that we can absorb that extra cost. And I'll keep an eye on it, keep watch on it. Any other questions on that? Okay, Menominee Shooting Range, the Menominee Rifle and Pistol Club has talked to me. First thing they brought up, they're interested in selling advertising space on their blue sky blocker. That would allow them to generate more income to put more money back into the range. I told them, I'd bring it up to you guys. What I wanted to do tonight was get it in your mind. If that has to be something that, how that has to be handled as far as passing anything to allow them to do it, or if it's just the permission to do it. They wanted a discussion on it to see what you guys thought. And talking with Duke the other day, I was out at the range last weekend. They broke out a bunch of concrete out there that had been there for years. They put in more large rock in their areas where there's the waterways. Did all that. They put more gravel on the parking lot. They've been doing a lot of work out there. They got a lot of stuff. Henderson Excavating allowed them to use his equipment over the weekend. They're purchasing material from him, but he's not charging for the use of his equipment. He's donating. Like the whole weekend they had a skid steer out there and they had a jackhammer on the front of the skid steer. Sounds like he's really doing a lot to donate out at the range for the Rifle and Pistol Club. So they get a lot of people out there, a lot of compliments, like we've told you before. It's really looking nice out there. They're going to get stumps taken out that from trees that were taken down here a few years ago. They're going to get those taken out of there. They're just constantly doing improvements on the range, so it's really looking good. If you guys haven't been out there recently, I encourage you to stop out there and take a look at it sometime and see how it's looking. It's really coming good. I also talked with Charlie down at the O'Galley Sportsman's Club, Pineview Park. We told them last year, gave them the go ahead to do some improvements down there. I think Charlie said that they're going to hold off probably till fall after Labor Day to take out the existing pavilions and then pour a new slab, raise the elevation on those and put in the new pavilions. They have a problem with the one handicap dock down there is out of place again. I got pulled away from the shore. And they have a plan of how they're going to get it back, floated back over to the dock and secured there. So they're taking care of that. Those guys do an excellent job down there taking care of stuff. That park is a lot of things are coming along really nice with that. So we owe them a lot, you know, a big thank you for all the work they do too. So I wanted to pass along to you guys, you know, what they're doing down there and what the Rifle and Pistol Club is doing out at the shooting range. Definitely a benefit for Dunn County.
Okay.
Tim's got a
Anything
question.
else?
My question is, anybody that can answer it, but do we have any kind of a contract with the shooting range for them to do maintenance and what they can or can't do out there? Or is it just?
You know, if we have a contract with them, I think what I found out, it's just been through the past facilities and parks managers. They just had an agreement of what they could and couldn't do. Like when we brought up about the garbage removal, it was a agreement that the county would pay for the garbage service at the parks out there. If there is any type of contract, it would be a very old one, I believe. I have not seen anything written in agreement with them. It's just the shooting ranges are turned over to them to run, and they do their fundraisers and they enjoy having a nice place and they put the money back into it.
Well, and by what you reported, they're doing an excellent job out there and making lots of improvements.
They are definitely.
And I guess my only concern there was if there was something in there, we would have to look at it to see if there's something that would be in there to allow or not allow advertisement out there.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something we'll have to run past Nick too, as far as what the guidelines are. Nick, are you on by chance? I don't know, because he doesn't have nothing to report.
I don't see him in the attendance column, Chuck.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to run that one by Nick too.
Yeah, I can reach out to Nick and run it by him and get his thoughts on it.
Yeah, why don't you, the next time we'll have that as an agenda item to
Yeah,
actually.
perfect.
full
That'll work
discussion.
good.
Say, Chuck,
Yes.
would that kind of be similar to the advertising that Red Cedar Racing has? Because they kind of lease the facility from us, or is it different because we don't charge them to use the shooting ranges? But wouldn't that kind of be similar?
I'll let Nick answer that.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
Yeah, and hockey too is an example, Scott. So you could bring that up. You know, even before we had the contract, they were advertising with people too.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, very good.
A question?
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Hey, no, when I go by Fleet Farm, now there's a shooting range there. Is that the city owns that, or is that a private one, or? You know the one I'm talking about?
That's
That's
good.
the archery one. That's the archery club.
Oh, that's archery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And that's owned by the city then?
I don't think so. I guess I don't know. Does any? I don't know. I always thought that was a private, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, I just drive by and I just wondered about it. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. If there's no other questions, we'll move on to the next one. Corporate council report, none. Next one, number D, Environmental Services Department, Accessibility Wisconsin Tract Wheelchair Agreement Update.
I can speak to that. Bob Colson had another meeting tonight, so he kind of gave me an update, a rundown today. Our application has been submitted. It is down at the office, and we are hoping to have an answer and possibly a wheelchair on the way by next month. So Bob will be in attendance of next meeting to give us a rundown on it, but the application is there. We believe it's going to go through. So as soon as they give the blessing, it sounds like a wheelchair will be on its way to Dunn County.
Great, great. Okay, next item, considerations for actions to be taken by the committee. There's none. So then we get down to number 8, consideration of reports, resolutions, and ordinances to be recommended to the Dunn County Board by the Facilities Committee. The resolution to establish goals of 100% renewable energy and carbon neutrality by the year 2050. So you all were sent a thing, a copy that Don put together, which he did an excellent job. And then later this afternoon, Nick also sent out an actual Dunn County, Wisconsin resolution covering everything that Don said, but more in a much more legal type form. Did everybody get a chance to read through that and look at that by chance? Because I would like to have discussion. I felt that Nick captured a lot of what Don had on his. So I guess, Don, I would like to have you respond to what your thoughts were.
Yeah, luckily I logged in about 4 o'clock, so I was able to pull it off, and I looked at it and compared it pretty much to the one we were going to look at tonight. And I think he did a great job. I think what he did basically is he kind of switched things around. He didn't leave hardly anything out, but he basically, on the front page, it says what we're going to do. And then on the back page, the background, why we're going to do it. And so I'm real happy with it the way it is.
Okay. Does anybody else have any comments or suggestions or ideas? If you do, please speak up, because I don't know if I can.
Okay.
See everybody.
I was waving my hand, Chuck.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta figure out how to, so I can see everybody. I don't. Anyway, that's another story. Okay, go ahead.
I read through the resolution quick before the meeting, and then I've been looking through it. And one of the edits and the comments that I had is like the second paragraph where it says, "Be it further resolved that the county will seek to collaborate." And I know that, Don, you had put some of those in there, and I had marked them up, and I go, should we have it written as the county, or should we say that Dunn County will seek to elaborate? There's actually 2 of those. There's one in the second paragraph, and there's one in the third paragraph where it says the county, and the county could be retaining to could be basically any county. And I think that the in there should be changed to Dunn County, so that everything, and the last paragraph too. Nope, because that's the county clerk. So it's just those 2 instances where it says that the county. I think it should read that Dunn County.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Does anybody else have any input on that?
Yeah, that's fine. I suspect maybe what he was doing there is he was just trying to change the rhythm of the sentences, maybe. You know, instead of having Dunn County each time, the county instead of Dunn County, but that's fine. Dunn County would be fine.
I was talking on mute. But the only reason that I noticed that is that those are a couple of the markups that I had on the one that you sent out, Don, where you had the county in there again. And it looks like Nick took those almost directly verbatim from what you had written up to what he has there. So.
Okay. Anybody else have any other comments?
So the actual resolution is just the first page there, correct? And the background isn't part of the actual resolution. It's just the background for it, correct?
Correct.
Or am I
Right.
mistaken?
So, yeah, so yes, yep.
And I thought he did a very good job. I thought I liked the way that Nick kind of turned it around a little bit and put it back together. Don did a good job too.
Okay, any other comments, ideas, suggestions, or what are your wishes?
I would,
Oh, go ahead, Tim.
oh, go ahead, Don. You can start.
I'll just move that we approve it with Dunn substitute for the in paragraph 2 and paragraph 3.
Okay. You can't hear you, Tim. You're muted.
Oh, darn it. Instead of unmuting myself, I muted myself.
Yeah.
I would second that. I would say it's ready to be moved on if we change those two thes to done.
Okay.
Chairman
motion-
Bates,
What's that?
I have a question. Do we need a motion before we can make a motion to amend the motion? Or make an amendment to the document?
I believe that we would be able to move it on with noted changes. That the fact that we noted a change of changing the word "the" to "done" in those 2 paragraphs, we could move it on with that. I believe we could. Mr. Chair, Dave, what do you think?
Yes, you can, you're still working on it, so
Yeah,
you can move it on with those changes.
with noted changes, yeah. Okay. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to move this Dunn County resolution on with the noted changes. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay. Again, thank you to all that put in your efforts and time. It looks good. It looks very, very
Thank
good.
you. Yeah, it's good to see it.
Yep. Okay, let's see here. And that takes care of that. Our next meeting date will be May 26th. I'm hoping that based on the correspondence we've had, and Dave, maybe you can answer any questions, that we are going to go with the hybrid system for meetings here on. Is that correct, Dave?
Yes, it's gonna start with CRT second week in May, I believe it is.
Okay. Okay, so then therefore I also will be planning on having the meeting at the CSB building. It'll be the hybrid. If you want to come there, fine. If you want to Zoom in, fine. Just remember to bring your laptops if you come down there, is my understanding. So.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, any other comments? If not, we are adjourned. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, wait a minute. This is not related to our, but this meeting tomorrow night, this zoning meeting, it looks like we're invited, but we, if we're from unzoned, I was a little confused on.
They invited the supervisors that represent the on-zone towns. And I was concerned that out of the 7 that were invited, we could have had a quorum of a couple of committees if everybody showed up that were invited. If you counted myself as part of the quorum, which we can at a meeting. So anyway, that's why I asked Nick to draft some type of notice so that us that do end up there don't get into trouble with an open meetings law. And he felt that he had to draft it for all the supervisors and send it out to everybody. So you all have gotten it. It's a public meeting. You can come to it, but it has to do with the new land division ordinance that PRD has is proposing or is voted to send on to county board. And it's their proposal is probably made on zone townships because they don't have the ability to change their zoning. They're not zoned, so they're probably more restrictive in a way than zone townships are. And so with land division, so yeah, it's got a number of the townships concerned. I have no idea why they didn't come to the hearing and voice their displeasure over it, but that's what it's about. And you're definitely invited if you want to come and see or hear what it's about, what their concerns are. I would guess that they would share their concerns with all the rest of the supervisors when they find out that it is going to county board this next month.
Okay. Well, thank you. I was a little confused because I didn't receive the announcement or the Zoom stuff. And yet I received Nick's.
It's not a
email.
Zoom meeting, it's in person.
Oh, it's only in person. Oh,
It's in
okay.
person at the Elk Mountain Town Hall. They're the
Okay.
ones that have called the meeting, not the county. It's a town
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah. So really, we'll hear the same thing pretty much at the next county board meeting then.
You'll hear the proposed ordinance.
Mhm.
You will not hear what they are concerned about unless they share that with you. I would guess they will with emails. That's what I'm gonna suggest to them. I think I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking that they can try to get us not to take it to county board, but it's on its way to county board already. The committee has voted and to move it on to county board, and it doesn't go through executive. It goes straight to county board. So right now, the next business that's going to be done with it is going to be at county board. Now, we as a county board can decide to do things with it, but no committee is going to be able to change it until it gets to county board.
Thank you.
Okay, with that then have a good evening and thank you. And we'll be talking to you in the future. Okay, goodbye.
Okay, thank you.
Hey,
Thanks for
stay
inviting
well.
me, John.